We had an event at Hilltop Park in Signal Hill, and a few volunteers came up to us and they're like, we are like really concerned about this EIR. Is anyone organizing around it? And I was like, we should be. California is the only oil producing state where it is legal to drill for oil in someone's backyard. We're seeing statewide that the tide is turning when it comes to oil drilling. It's getting phased out. Living next to oil drilling is a public health emergency.
I'm Roslyn. I live in Signal Hill, California. I've lived there for about 4 years now. So I have a dog, so I'm, walking around the neighborhood like twice a day usually. We probably pass by like 11 to 12 wells like every walk.
Moved here and then was like, wow, there's a lot of oil drilling. There's already oil drilling in Southern California, but we're like, oh, it's kind of a lot here.
Signal Hill is this tiny, tiny city, 2.2 square miles, about 11,000 residents, smack dab in the middle of Long Beach. And in 1924, it became its own city because they didn't want to pay oil taxes. So the whole founding of the city was to protect the oil industry. There are 502 wells. It's right next to an elementary school. They're in the parks where we gather. They're everywhere. Everywhere around Signal Hill, there are statues celebrating the first wells ever drilled. Their framing is that we need oil in order to survive, which is definitely not the case.
I think it's very strategic upon Signal Petroleum to paint this narrative that they are this prominent power in the community. The library has like a fake oil tower. They like built a new Target and it's like oil themed. And so there's like this running kind of imagery and narrative that this town is nice and you like it because of oil. But that's just simply not true once we keep digging.
Signal Hill Petroleum wants to drill for another 20 years. They want a 20-year permit extension, and they want to drill another 46 new wells during that time. So at the state level, we finally passed this historic health and safety setback, a 3,200 feet buffer zone between oil drilling and homes and schools. We passed it in 2022, and immediately the oil industry worked on a referendum campaign to get it delayed until the public can vote on it. And in the meantime, permits are being approved within the buffer zone. In my time at Sierra Club, we do a lot of talk about bottom-up organizing. We need to make sure the people most impacted are involved in the strategy. We went around door to door to community members. We've knocked on around 1,000 doors so far. Not a single resident knew about the 20-year permit extension. Not a single one.
I had a couple of canvassers come to my door and it was a surprise. I wasn't expecting anyone to come to my door to talk to me about this. I'd never heard of it.
We actually had 2 volunteers knocked on our door. They're really engaging, so we just stayed out and talked to them. And then they told us about the 20-year extension. We had no idea about it.
Once I was really hearing about this permit and I didn't hear about it before, it was much more insidious and it kind of radicalized me to see the corruption that was really happening in the town that I so love and affecting the neighbors that I hold dearly as well. Now I spend all my free time canvassing and organizing with these really cool people.
I'm hoping to realize the power that we have. It's a city of only 11,000 people, so it doesn't take a lot of us to show up.
I think it's very important that Sierra Club stays engaged. We are at this pivotal point right now in California. We are on the edge of phasing out oil drilling in LA City and LA County. And we can't stop the work now. We've been in this fight for decades. And now it's more important than ever to keep fighting.